first thing we're going to be doing is getting you ready for a TRX squat. Okay, we're going to take you through a warm-ups on the straps. What we do to begin with is making sure you've got TRX set up, have your elbows bent at 90 degrees, feet shoulder width apart, just slowly lower your hips towards your heels into a squat. Now the whole goal in this warm-up is just to get you to move. So we're not looking at the deepest end range of movement, and we're not looking for you to work too hard. It should be fairly comfortable. Obviously the goal behind using the straps is that it's just going to help you almost find a little bit more depth without falling back over. So got about another 20 seconds here. Now if you are joining in, if at any time you're feeling yourself aching or stiff, or you want to make any regressions at any time, then please do. Also keep yourself hydrated as you're working through this. I want to make sure I've got some water just behind me, but we want to make sure that when you're working to your own level of ability as well. So hopefully you're getting this workout done. Now the next one we're going to do is just take a little step forwards. I'm going to extend my arms, lower my hips towards my heels against that squat, bring myself back up to an extended position, and then pull myself in. It's a TRX Squat Row. And again, what we're looking to do here is the mobility that we've just had from the upper body is being added in to our lower body squat as well. Now, if you're doing this at home, the angle that you pick can be changed really easily. So if at any time you just want to take a little step back to regress that, that's absolutely fine as well. We can call that just a slight adaptation to what it is and what intensity you're looking to work through as well. So hopefully you're getting yourself moving now. The goal behind all these is just to warm you up. So if at any time you feel like you're getting a bit hot, then you're playing this back, you can always pause it, reset yourself at any time that you need it to happen as well. Good work. So we should start to feel your heart rates coming up. I've got my MyZone belt on just to help keep my heart rate in check and to see what we're doing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a forward lunge with wide fly. Now I'm going to turn around here. My arms are going to be out in front of me. Now from here, what I'm looking to do is take a big step forwards and let the arms come up above my head and then step back. We're going to alternate the legs. So hopefully I'm going to stay in your camera angle the whole time. But if at any time you lose me, just listen and hopefully I'll be able to coach you through this as well. Every single time you step back, your hands will come around about shoulder height. As you take that big step forward, you're not only going to get a stretch for the hips, but you're also going to get a stretch for the shoulders as well. So just keep yourself moving for this one. About another 15 seconds in this position, then we're going to change the exercises. I'll write up all the exercises in the comments bit after here, so if you do want to follow this, you're more than welcome just to follow the exercises in your own time, if you're not doing the live workout with me now. Okay, now we're going to stand face away down to point. Sorry, facing two down to point. Next exercise we're going to do is a single leg hip hinge. So we're going to start with your hands in front of your hips. Okay, my feet are close together. What I'm going to do is press down against the handles and going to lift the leg up behind you and bring yourself back up to standing. Now we're going to alternate this. Now if you find that you're a little bit stiff on one side, that's absolutely normal and it's also absolutely fine. The idea behind this exercise is just going to increase your range of movement, work on your flexibility a little bit, but also just activate some of these hamstring muscles that we're going to be working on. And we're doing a full body workout today, so get yourself ready for the workout you're going to be doing by getting your movement quality good. So it's much more important that you just find a way of moving with good quality than it is rushing through exercises. The heart rate, whether it be HIIT training that you normally do or anything else, at times like this, it's always much, much better just to modify exercises to work in your own ability as well. Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is a wide hip hinge. So take your feet wide. You're going to push your hips back and reach your fingertips forwards. And then bring yourself back up. And again, you're pressing down. Now the benefit of this one is we've worked a bit of stability. Now we can start to range and increase that range a little bit more. So just find yourself in a position where you start to push your hips back a little bit further. Think if there was a door behind you, you'd be pushing it shut. But at the same time, I want you to try and reach your fingertips forward a little bit further each time. Now we're going to do one last one, and we're going to hold it down in this one. Hold in this position. We're just going to have a little bit of a swing from side to side. Now if your weight starts to shift from one foot to the other, you're going to feel your stretch comes from one side of the leg over to the opposite side of the leg a little bit more as well. This will just start to stretch your hamstrings and free up your hips a little bit more. Okay, now from this position, bring your feet close together. We're going to have them around about hip width apart, so get yourself into a nice comfortable position. And what we're going to do is a half golf rotation. Now, just check out this first one for me. I'm going to bring my hand in towards my chest, keeping my fingers where those ones are. I'm going to reach the arms up and above, come back to the center, and then back down. We're going to alternate this, so you bring the hand in towards you, reach up, bring it back into the chest, and then down in front of you as well. Okay, so if you're getting the hang of this one, join in with me. So you can see I've got a slight bend in my knees. My weight is equally shared between both feet. My eyes are looking down towards the fingertips in front of me. And the whole goal is just to start to find a little bit of a stretch through the side of the body. Okay, nice work. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just take hold of the foot cradles on this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my arm back. I'm going to rotate from my body, and I'm just going to bring myself over. So the goal here is just to get a little bit of rotation through the spine. So it opens up through the chest muscles, and you also rotate across, doing a little bit of movement. Okay, let's swap those to the opposite side. So again, extend the arm, reach behind you, reach across your body, and then around again. Allowing your spine to rotate in this position. Now at this point, you should start to feel yourself ready and warmed up. Good work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a TRX chest press. Now, what we're going to do is fully lengthen the straps all the way down. You're going to stand facing away from your ankle point, so you have your hands out in front of you. Once you've got yourself in a strong position, what you're looking to do is to keep your knuckles facing forwards. Okay, so they're not starting to break at all. Let's go for this. We're going to do 1 minute of TRX chest press. Now, there's loads of adaptations that you can do. If you want to make yourself work a little bit harder, you can take a step back. If you want to make it a little bit easier at any time, then you can take a step forwards. So you're always going to be in control of how hard you're working. That way, it's not my fault if you're aching tomorrow or not. Now, other progressions you can do on this one, if you don't want to change the angle, you can change the base of support as well. What's quite nice about this one is if you want to be a little bit more stable, take your feet a little bit wider. This gives you the advantage of being nice and stable, so you're starting to rely and use a little bit more of your leg muscles to help with the workout as well. But if your goal is a little bit more challenging, and you want to push yourself a little bit harder, bringing your feet close together, just to challenge yourself a little bit more with that base of support, that's going to create a little bit more instability. So the nice thing about working with a little bit more instability is you don't necessarily need to be stronger, but it engages more of your core muscles as well. Now what we're going to do, hold that same position. Next exercise is the TRX Superman. Feet are going to be hip width apart again. Your hands, which are out in front of you, are going to stay there until we lower into a squat. So you're going to lower your hips towards your heels, bring your hands in towards your chest, and you're going to load yourself up to drive forwards. Okay, let's just talk about it again. You're going to lower your hips towards your heels, bring your hands towards your chest, and in one movement, push off as if you're a Superman taking off. So the goal behind this one is you're going to start to increase your heart rate a little bit more. Because it's quite a dynamic movement, if you want to add in a little hop into this one, then you're more than welcome to as well. You only need to travel about 2 to 3 inches forwards and 2 to 3 inches backwards as well. So give me 10 seconds more of this exercise. Reach forwards. Try and reach your fingertips high. Last one. Good work. Okay. Next exercise is going to be a tricep press. We're going to shorten the straps up to mid-length again. Really simple to do. If you're not used to adjusting the straps, just a little tilt onto the buckle, slide those straps up to halfway. Now, what we're going to do on this one is the arms are going to be extended in front of you, keeping them fairly narrow. You're going to bend at your elbows and then push your arms away into a straight line. So think about your range of movement here. Your knuckles are going to come close to your forehead and then push yourself away. What we want to do when we're thinking of doing this exercise is a really strong plank position as well. So try and keep your butt cheeks squeezed. That'll help keep your body in a nice flat straight line and your elbows in front of your shoulders. It's quite a tough exercise for the upper body. So again, if you want to make it a little bit easier, you can step forwards. But if you do want to challenge yourself a little bit more, get used to using these progressions. You can take a step back a little bit further. And that will just challenge you a little bit more in your range as well. Okay, next exercise is a Sprinter Start. So we're going to fully lengthen the straps in this one. The goal behind this exercise is going to get your heart rates up. What you're going to do is you're going to stand facing away from your ankle point, Straps are going to go underneath your armpits, so that can be a little bit different for some people. Once you're in this position, get yourself into an angle. It's probably around about 45 degrees. From here, with your feet close together, take a large step back and get yourself ready as if you're going to start a 100-meter race. From here, you're going to drive your knee up and forwards and then step back. Now, if you want to, again, push yourself a little bit more, again, we can add that little hop. Now, we first saw that in the Superman exercise, but in the Sprinter Start, it's a really effective, especially for runners, great exercise. Going to develop a bit of power from the glutes. Going to really challenge this bit of stability at the top of the movement as well. Your heart rate's going to be going up now, I hope. This way you're going to really start to earn your MEPs from the workout. Your MEPs is a measurement from my side. This is how much effort you're going to be putting into your exercises. Let's do one more. Good, okay, now let's reset and get yourself loaded up for your second exercise. Again, from your feet being close together, take a step back, drive your knee up. This is your starting position, and then you've got the option of adding in that hop if you want it. Try and keep your chin and chest nice and lifted, and drive your knee forwards. You are going to leave yourself a little breathwork doing this one. That's never a bad thing. This whole workout is designed to give you a full body workout, so there'll be strength, there'll be cardio work, a lot of toning work as well. So it's just about doing whatever you can do to keep your body working. Getting after some calorie burning, getting after a bit of fitness improvement. This is a workout you can do at home, or you can do it at any time, any place. Might be on a tree outside, could be in the gym, could be in your garage. Good work, okay. Give those legs a little shake out there. Okay, next exercise, we're going to adjust the straps up to mid-length again. You'll soon get used to these adjustments, but they can happen really quickly. We always do one strap at a time. Slide it up. Now, next exercise is going to be a TRX Hip Drop. What we're going to do, bring your hands together, link them together so there's a nice grasp there. Hands go on top of your head. Bring your feet together. Now, I'm picking an angle already, but it's up to you how far. If you want to make this a little bit harder, come closer to the ankle point on this one. And the goal here is to drop your hip out towards the side and then bring yourself back up again. Nice. Drop your hip out, bring yourself back to the center. Now, quite often, people's elbows start to come close together. See if you can keep those elbows apart, keep them as wide as you can. Good work. Time for the last couple. Wow, that's good work. Nice, okay. We're going to swap the sides. So, this one, same thing, opposite side, hands on top of your head, drop your hip over towards the side, come back to the center. Okay, relax there. Okay, next exercise we're going to do is a TRX Lunge. So for this one, we're going to put one foot through the foot cradles on this one. Take hold of the foot cradles, both at the same time, in your right hand. Put your left foot through, and just take a knee onto the floor. This will help you find the angle that you're going to work on. If you want to make it a little bit more of a different angle, so maybe your hips are tight, go further forwards or further back. What we're going to do on this one, start with the arms out high. And we're going to stand up and bring your arms into a rotated position. Lower yourself back down. Bring your hands up, rotate the hands as if you're in a running action. The benefit of using your arms like this is just going to help keep your stability, but at the same time, you can find a little bit of stability on the floor. So you can always bring your knee back to the floor if you need to, then drive yourself back up again. You get to pick how hard you want to work on this one. Okay, you ready to swap the legs over? Let's do it. Bring yourself up. Same thing. Going to the foot cradles Over into my left hand, I'm going to put my right foot through. From this position, lower yourself down towards the floor again. Once you find yourself in a nice stable place, making sure that your foot isn't being pulled back too far, front foot grounded onto the floor. As we come up, rotating the arms again, so I'll just give you a little bit of stability. Here we go, bring it up and back down. Now remember, the option is to rest your knee on the floor if at any time, and it's fine to actually miss a couple of repetitions if you find you need to. I'd rather you work slowly and with control. There's no race or on a timer, so there's no amount of repetitions you have to do. It's a bit like going for a 5K run as well. However long it takes, that's how long it takes. It's not a race. Just about every single time you do the repetition, working on what you can do and making that action a little bit better each time as well. Good work. Last few seconds, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breather here. Time to grab a drink if you really need to. You've got a minute of recovery. Take a breather. While you're doing this workout, make sure you have water with you. If you need to pause, if you're playing this, if you want to grab something, that's absolutely fine. As you're doing this, we can get you ready for the next exercise as well. So what we're going to do on the next one, have your straps at mid-length. Have your elbows at 90 degrees. Next exercise will be coming up in around about 25 seconds. From here, you can take a large step back, down towards the floor, step back up with your feet together, and then alternate the legs. Lower yourself back down, bring yourself back up. Okay, so make sure you've got a little bit of space around you. If you're working out on a door, make sure you've got a little bit of space, you're not too close to it, like stairs or tables or chairs or anything like that as well. Elbows at 90 degrees, standing tall. Step back lunge, alternating with the legs. Lower yourself back to the floor, bring yourself back up again. Nice, great work. So we're going to keep this second round of exercises going with the legs. Then we're going to go into an upper body workout. So just keep yourself moving at any time. Option, if you wanted to make this a little bit harder, would be not letting the back foot touch the floor and then bring yourself forwards again. Keep alternating, but just think about that back foot hovering off the floor and then stepping your feet back together again. It means that you will work your arms a little bit more because they're going to be used to help give you a little bit of stability. That's absolutely fine because we are looking for a full body workout from this exercise routine. Okay, so option of putting the foot down to the floor if you need it. 10 seconds of work to go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to shorten the straps and we're going to be going into a low and mid-row combination. Okay, so quick transition here. Slide the straps up to the top. You're going to stand facing towards the anchor point. And I want you to start with your hands right next to your chest. Dig your heels into the floor. Keep your body as a really strong plank would. I want you to lower your hips down, but at the same time extend your arms. Then from here, you're going to bring yourself into that TRX low row. The second combination is into a mid row where your elbows come apart a little bit. So it's going to be one with your elbows close, one with your elbows a little bit wider. Good work. Give me another 5 seconds of this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to be taking you into a single leg TRX squat. Quite a challenging exercise. Give me a little bit more length on the straps. Bring it to halfway. For this one, place one foot in front of you. Make sure one foot is underneath you, elbows at 90 degrees again. Lower your hip towards the heel, bring yourself back up. Okay? Now you can see I'm using my foot in front of me to almost help support me do this one. The challenge, if you wanted it, is to keep the foot off the floor and try and do as much work from the leg as possible. The hands are really there, just to almost just keep them relaxed, but at the same time, just to allow you to come out of that deepest range of movement. When you're doing this one, try and keep your back as straight as possible. Got about 15 seconds more, then we're going to swap the legs over. If at any time you need to put that heel back onto the floor, just to give you a little bit of support, that's absolutely fine. It is completely your choice how hard you want to make this exercise and see how hard and what depth you can get to as well. Shake the legs out, let's swap it over. Opposite foot goes in front. Use it as a kickstand to help support you if you need to. Lower your hips towards your heels, bring yourself back up again. Again, the whole goal of this is to try and challenge your legs. So if you're using a lot of your arms, even when that heel's on the floor, you want to try and maybe just take some of the range away and try and work on the strength that's working there as well. If you are ready to challenge yourself a little bit more, lift that heel up, bring yourself down towards the floor. And again, you can use your arms maybe a little bit more in this one. But again, if you can, try and make sure the legs do the work. It's about keeping those straps as light as possible. And that way then you're not using your arms as much. 15 seconds more. Option of heel on the floor if you need it. That kickstand can always be used at any time. This workout altogether, looking for around about 45 minutes of work. Then I've got a little bit of a challenge for you at the end of this exercise. Okay, now we're going to do a TRX high row into a T-fly. So keeping the straps at mid-length, this is what it's going to look like. Take an angle, extend your arms back. Okay, keep your body nice and flat. Bring your elbows up high, and then pull your arms wide into that position as well. Okay, so it's a high row, elbows stay high, and then a T-fly is where your arms pull wide to bring yourself forwards. Good work. Trying to keep control on the lowering phase as well, especially in that T-fly. Keep the control. Nice, one more. High row, T-fly. Good, excellent. Okay, time to hit the biceps. Bicep curl, hand start, in line with your forehead here. Set yourself up where your knuckles are in front of you, elbows at shoulder height, extend your arms back, and then bring your knuckles back up to your forehead. And we only want them to come to the forehead as well. The whole goal here is to try and keep the muscles working, so you're not using too much momentum. It can often help to try and think about keeping your elbows high. Eyes looking towards your anchor point. It's always a good way just to help keep your body in a nice straight line as well. Last one. Good, okay. Squat jumps, time to get those heart rates up. This one is not going to be pretty, and we will go straight into another exercise afterwards, okay? Let's push yourself here. Feet shoulder width apart, elbows 90 degrees. Lower hips towards your heels, and you're going to jump. Try and get as much height as you can. Vertical lift is important for us here. Trying to get off the floor. As you're landing, help you stabilize. If you can try and think about keeping your knees over your feet, where they're not turning inwards too much or going outwards. Just looking for 10 seconds to go. So as much work as you can do. Okay, great job. Let go of one strap. If you're up against the door, you can always keep this strap going. Put it into a single hand mode. If you're not sure how to do that one, we can always YouTube that afterwards as well. TRX Power Pull. Start with your shoulder in line with your anchor point. Elbows in at 90 degrees, extend your arm into a single arm row. Rotate behind you into a T. Then from the shoulder blade, pull back and down as you come up, just onto your tiptoes as well. Try it again, single arm row, extend your arm back, then pull yourself forwards up onto your tiptoes. Let's keep these going. Got to be strong for the shoulder here. All about the shoulder girdle working. It's a really good mechanism to get you good at throwing, lifted, lots of different exercises as well. Okay, let's swap it over. Same setup. Opposite shoulder in line with the anchor point, elbows at 90 degrees. Extend your arm, rotate away, and pull yourself up onto your tiptoes again. Okay, extend the shoulder, single arm row. Rotate around, create a T, bring yourself up. Okay? Think about reaching up the strap, but only to the point where you'll still have tension on the strap as well. I don't want you reaching too high and using too much momentum. Good work. Okay, TRX Speed Skaters. I want that heart rate up, and I need it to stay up just a little bit longer. I'm going to give you a minute of recovery after this exercise. So from here, what you're going to do, athletic stance, you're going to push from one side over to the opposite. Okay, so just try and keep your body moving. Think about pushing from one side to the other. We've all seen the speed skaters in the Olympics. quick as anything on ice, but they've got to be really strong for their legs. Try and travel a couple of meters if you can. Push from one side to the other. Athletic starts the whole time. Not too much tension onto the straps. They're there just almost guide you from one side to the other. Okay, take a breather, guys. 1 minute breath. Take in some nice deep breaths in through your nose, out of your mouth. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. Next exercise is we're going to be hitting down to the floor. So grab a drink and let's get your mat set up. Okay. First exercise is going to be a TRX Hamstring Curl. For this one, what we're going to look to do is to put your heels in. So as we're getting ready, we're going to be starting about 25 seconds. What I want you to do is I want you to lengthen your straps to a mid-calf height. This can also be the height, but if the straps are at the right height, the tip of the foot cradles will just touch the top of your toes as well. Let's get your heels in by pushing down onto your thumb. And then what I want you to do is open up the foot cradles, place your heels inside and extend your legs. Okay? Once you get yourself in a good position, now try and be underneath the ankle point. Lie yourself down onto the floor. Rest your head back. From here, lift your hips up. Draw your heels in towards your hips and extend them back again. Good. This can be a tough exercise for the hamstrings, so just take your time on them. If we can keep the hips off the floor, then that's great. If at any time you need to rest, then that's not a problem as well. I'd rather you maintain good control and quality, so if at any time you need to stop, take a little breather, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to try and power through these and keep these all going now. So again, hips staying off the floor, head rested on the floor, just to make sure your spine isn't put under too much load where your head neck and your head are taking the strain. Good range. Try and get your knees to the point where they are directly above your hips, and then extend the legs out again. It should almost look like a squat. If someone took a picture of you side on, that's the sort of range that you're looking for. Now, this next exercise, we're going to stay in the same position. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling. So the goal is to reach up tall, rotate the hands, come back to the center, lower yourself back down. Reaching up, rotate, come back to the center, and then back down again. The goal of reaching upwards will help keep your body in a good position where you're not using any momentum. You're going to probably start to hear a little bit of tremoring in my voice as I start to bring myself up and down. That's how it should be. Try and come up with a nice straight spine so it's the abdominals doing the work. Not too much hip flexor focus here, although they're always going to be activated. I'm working hard as well. Sit nice and tall, rotate, come back to the center, and then back down again. Good work. Okay. Last one. Good work. Okay. So next exercise is hip abductors. Stay in the same position as we are on the ground, facing the ankle point. Hands are going to go to the sides. You're going to lift your hips up so they're off the floor. Feet are going to go wide and back to the center again. So this hip abduction exercise is really good for work on the outside of your legs, which is particularly good for people who want better tone, but also for runners and people who play a lot of team sports as well. If you can really start to focus on pushing wide and you're always having a little pause there for a second, that would be really good for you. Nice toned, but at the same time strong and athletic. Great for changing direction in team sports. Push wide, pause, back to the center. Good. Okay, now, elbows to the outside. Fingertips just to the back of the head. You're going to come up and rotate across. So your elbow is coming over towards your knee. And in that position, just pause for a second. And then slowly lower yourself back down. Bring it up, over, slowly bring it back down. And again, it's not about using momentum on this one. It's all about controlled core work. The TRX is so good for core exercises, so don't waste the benefit of doing them by using momentum. The last one. Good, okay, now we're going to put your toes in. So, here's how this is going to work, as quick as you can. Pop like a pair of sweaty socks. Lie on your back, that is crucial. Put your straps over your toes, bring your feet together. You're going to turn over to the side. Get tension on the straps as you rotate around. And then we're going to be ready to be doing some ground-based exercises, facing away from your anchor point. First exercise is going to be a TRX Body Saw. This can be a challenging exercise. You can do it on your elbows or on your hands. Here's how it's going to look. Bring yourself up into a press-up position. From here, only the shoulder moves, and you bring yourself forwards and backwards. Try and bring your toes towards your tips. So think about where the tibia bone is, your shin. Keep your toes in towards you. The range that you can go back will determine what your athletic stance is and also what your core strength is going to be as well. The option on the elbow, bring yourself down, set yourself back up, and again get that range from there as well. Good job, okay. Next exercise is going to be a side plank. So we're going to lie on your side, and I'm going to bring my feet on top of each other. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sneak the foot into the triangle of the strap. I'm going to have the elbow underneath the shoulder. I can use my hand to help stabilize me if I need to, or the option is to extend the arm up. Okay, so that's your standard plank. Now what we're going to do here is hold for about 10 seconds. So I'm going to give you a little breather. Okay? Brilliant. Now, we're going to make this exercise work as hard as you can. Bring yourself back up again. Now in this position, what I want you to do is keep pushing your hips high, but at the same time squeeze your bum cheeks, bring your shoulder blades back and down. Good, have a little breather. We'll do it one more time. We're going to add all that together. Find your height, extend the arm, squeeze your butt cheeks, push your hips high, be as strong and stable as possible. Hold it stable. Give me another 5 seconds here. Keep it strong, shoulder blades back and down, head looking in a straight line in front of you, and have a breather. Okay. Now we're going to go on to mountain climber. We'll come and do the side plank on the other side in a second. Turn over onto your front. So you're on the ground, facing away from the anchor point. Hands underneath your shoulders again, up into a plank position. And your goal is to bring one knee in towards your chest, and then extend that leg and alternate the knee, driving forwards and backwards. Again, this one can be done on your elbows if you need it to. Your choice. Okay, now we're going to do a side plank on the opposite side. Let's do this. So up top leg is going to go into the triangle of the strap. Shoulder directly underneath the elbow and extend yourself up. Okay, real strong plank, about 10 seconds in a row. Then we'll take a little breather. Bring it up. Push your hips high. Remember how we did this in the first exercise. First time you do this, it's all fine to learn. Second time, you've got to work. Okay, bring yourself back down. This time, squeeze the glutes as tight as you can. Push your heels away. Let's go again. Okay, one more. Same thing again. Keep the height of the hips, keep your head looking straight. Good job, good job. Okay, turn yourself onto your front again. So on the ground, facing away from the anchor point. Coming up is going to be atomic press-ups. Okay, so challenging exercise. This is a press-up and a crunch. Doesn't matter how many you do, but it's the good quality that really counts. Just do as many as you can do. Option is always to do the press-ups on the knees if you need to. I'll do the first couple of those so you can see them. Okay, take a 1 minute breather here, team. So the predominant stretch has been done. The workout has been done. I did say I had a challenge for you though. So if you've got one, this is going to be using a RIP trainer. If you haven't got a RIP trainer, don't worry, you can still do the movement, but maybe look to buy one as well. So, the TRX RIP trainer. You have a safety cord. Place this around your hand. Slide into place. The challenge is going to be a 90-degree RIP jump press. I've got my RIP trainer here anchored to a sofa, but if you want to do it outside in a park or do it in your gym, it's absolutely fine. You're going to start with the RIP trainer at chest height. Okay? Now what we're going to do is you're going to jump 90 degrees down into a squat and then come back. Okay? So, when you do this exercise, it's as many repetitions as you can. Now, if you haven't got a RIP trainer, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to show you what that will look like for you as well. What you're going to do, stand 90 degrees, you're going to jump into a squat and then come back to you, okay? So start with your hands next towards your chest, jump into a squat position with arms extended, and then come back to you, okay? Now, you might not have the resistance from the RIP trainer, but you can still get the cardio workout from doing this as well, okay? Now, here's how this is going to work. You're going to do as many rotations as you can in 30 seconds. Then, what we're going to do is we're going to do some TRX crunches for 30 seconds. Then, you swap over a couple of times, okay? So it's just about using the two, the RIP trainer and the suspension trainer. One to give you a cardiovascular challenge, the other to give you a core workout as well. Okay? So, if you're ready, I'm good to go. 90 degrees, jump, RIP, press, okay? Here we go. Push into there and back out. As you push forwards, drop into a squat with your arms going forwards, like you're trying to push somebody away. Remember, it's 30 seconds of work, as many as you can do in that. Okay, good work. Let's get you ready. So, undo the straps. Let's get you ready. We're going to be doing our crunches here as well. So, hold on to the fingertips with the foot cradles. Lie onto your back. Put your toes in. Roll over to your front. 30 seconds of as many crunches as you can do. Starts in 5. Just keep the momentum going. Good quality though. That's always the key thing here. Place your hands in front of you at shoulder width. Okay, let's go for this. Bring your knees in and out. Eyes looking down, an imaginary line between your fingertips. Push your heels away strong. It's not about speed, it's all about control. See if you can find a really strong plank position just there. Just hold it strong for me. Last 5 seconds. Okay. Now, we're going to swap onto the RIP trainer, facing the opposite direction. Again, get your hand into the safety strap, slide this up, start at 90 degrees, and then from here, jump out in front of you, and then back in again. Okay, let's do this, 30 seconds. Okay, let's get you ready for those punches again. Woo. Should be feeling those heart rates pumping away here. Get 30 seconds in between, get yourself set up. One more time. Hold your fingers on the foot cradles. Lie onto your back, put them over the top of your toes. Feet together, tension on the strap, roll to the front. On the ground, facing away from the ankle point. Find a really strong, solid plank to begin with. Here we go, bring those punches in and out. Good work. Okay. Just to challenge your legs one more time, I want to hit the lower body. I'm going to do one of my favorite exercises, but it is a devastating exercise as well. So, one finger and thumb. Lie on your backs. Put your heels into the foot cradles, extend your legs. Make sure your feet are underneath the ankle point. Or if you need to change this, you can do. But a really good place to start is underneath. I'll tell you why as we start doing the exercise. So what we're going to do, hands down both sides. Extend your legs, rest your head back. It's a TRX Hamstring Curl that we learned from earlier. Then from this position, press your hips up and then come back down. Okay, so tough exercise this one. So hamstring curl, hip press, then extend your legs. Good. Make sure your head is rested onto the floor. Extend into the hamstring curl, press your hips high. Try and keep your knees above your hips, even as you come back down from that press position before you extend. Good work. It's a tough exercise, this one. Everybody wants those gains. Hamstrings and glutes, firing all together. Tough. But you do whatever you can. Try and get as much range of movement as you can. Give me 15 seconds more. It's got to be burning right now. Hang in there. Oh. 5 seconds. Give me one more. Oh, nice work. Okay. Lift it up. Good work, guys. We're going to take a little bit of a stretch for this now. We'll grab some water in a minute if you don't mind. We're going to move the straps to halfway. So just slide them up a little bit more. Okay, here's how this is going to look. It's a TRX Wide Hip Hinge. Feet are wide, hands are in front of your hips. Reach your fingertips forwards as you push your bum back. We did a little bit of this in the warm-up. So it's just revisiting some of the exercises. Slowly bring yourself back up to standing again. Same thing, push your hips back. Reach your fingertips forwards. Bring yourself back up again. Good work. Let's keep this going. Should find your breath coming back to you a little bit now. From here, a little walk from side to side. Okay, TRX lower back stretch. Elbows at 90 degrees, I want you to extend your arms, and I want you to drop your hips back. If you need to adjust your feet, that's absolutely fine. Find a position where you're stable and comfortable, and just hang here. Think about just walking your knee flexion here, so just bend one knee a little bit more, then straighten one leg. This alternating stretch here just stretches to the hamstrings a little bit. Now, stay in this position, maybe move your feet back a little bit if you feel comfortable to. What I want you to do is I want you to bend one knee, and I want you to look underneath the armpit of the opposite side. You hear a little crack, means you've gone too far, or maybe not. You will find that your back starts to pop a little bit. Good. Okay, bring yourself back over to the opposite side, bend the opposite knee, look underneath your armpit. Take it over to the opposite side again. So if you really think about your weight being dropped back into your hips, feel the lengthening stretch through the back, through the shoulders, and through your hamstrings on one side, then alternate it over to the opposite. Good. Come back to the center, slowly bring yourself back up again. Give your legs a little bit of a shake here. Okay, figure four stretch. We can do this on the floor. So what we do is take a seat with your feet out in front of you. If you're able to hold your straps at around about shoulder height, that's a really good place to start. Just place your foot across your knee. And the ankle will just sit above the kneecap, not on the kneecap. From here, bend the knee. Now just give you a little bit of stretch for your glute. Now, you can pull yourself forwards to enhance that stretch a little bit more. Take your time on this one. Find the position. Elbows back and down, shoulder blades back and down. Pull your chest towards your hands. Good. Then extend the leg. Let's swap it over. Opposite leg goes across the knee, but just above the kneecap, not on it. Bend at the knee, and then pull yourself forwards. Try and hold that position, keep it strong. Bring your hands and your chest closer together. Shoulder blades back and down still, spine nice and straight. You can look up towards the anchor point and that'll give you a good visual reference. It's always tough when you're doing home workouts, so you always want to watch the screen and not where you're going. Okay. From here, extend the legs, straighten both. We're going to bring it up to a standing position and just take it into a quad stretch here. So, bring your knees together. If you turn sideways on, you're about to see the knees are next to each other. Push the foot into the palm of your hand to get yourself a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, shake it out and swap it over to the opposite side. Take hold of the ankle. You can use the straps just for a little bit of balance and guidance here. Bring your knees together, stand tall. Push the foot into the palm of your hand. Good. Excellent. Just give it a little shake there. I hope you guys enjoyed the workout. If you have any questions, let me know. You'll see my email addresses or direct message me. If I can be of any help in any way, just let me know. If you're not sure how to set up your straps and you're watching this, then what I will do is I'll do some other videos on how to set up the straps so that if you're at home, you can use them in different places as well. Stay safe out there. Look after yourselves.